Hello friends, how are you? I am a AI computer. Welcome to my video. In this video, we are watching a real murder story. Story name is The Night Watchman. The small town of Ashwood lay nestled in the heart of a dense forest, surrounded by towering trees that seemed to reach towards the sky like skeletal fingers. The town was quiet, its residents sleeping soundly in their beds, unaware of the darkness that lurked just beyond their windows. But one man, a watchman named Thomas, was awake. He stood at the edge of the town, his eyes scanning the shadows, his ears attuned to the sounds of the night. Act 1, The Night Stalker. It was a cold night, the moon barely visible through the thick clouds that covered the sky. Thomas had been on duty for hours, his mind beginning to wander as he grew tired. Suddenly, he heard a rustling in the bushes. He cocked his head, trying to listen for any clues as to what was causing the noise. Then, a figure emerged from the darkness, a man dressed in black with a sinister grin on his face. "Who goes there?" Thomas called out, his hand hovering over the grip of his pistol. The figure didn't answer, but instead began to move towards him, its footsteps quiet on the damp ground. Thomas's heart raced as he raised his weapon, his finger hovering over the trigger. But just as the figure was about to strike, a deafening blast sounded through the night air, sending the attacker flying back into the shadows. Act 2, The Mysterious Stranger. The next morning, Thomas was greeted by the town's mayor, a man named Samuel. "Good morning, Thomas," Samuel said, his voice gruff and early. "I hope you slept well last night." "I did," Thomas replied, still feeling the adrenaline pumping through his veins. "But I couldn't have imagined a more restless night." Samuel's eyes narrowed. "What do you mean?" "I heard something moving in the bushes last night," Thomas said. "A man in black, I think. He was heading straight for me." Samuel's face paled. "A night stalker, you say?" "Yes," Thomas said. "I didn't get a good look at him, but he was tall and muscular, with a black hood covering his face." Samuel's expression turned grave. "We need to find out who this night stalker is, and why he's targeting Ashwood." Act 3, The Mysterious Stranger returns. The next few days passed with no sign of the night stalker. The townspeople grew uneasy, their eyes constantly darting towards the shadows. But just when they thought the danger had passed, the night stalker returned. This time, he was armed with a sword, his eyes blazing with a fierce intensity. He charged towards Thomas, his blade flashing in the moonlight. Thomas stood his ground, his pistol at the ready. The two clashed, their weapons ringing out across the night air. For what felt like hours, they fought, their movements precise and calculated. But just as Thomas was about to land a killing blow, the night stalker vanished into thin air. Act 4, The Mysterious Stranger revealed. The next day, the townspeople were abuzz with gossip and speculation. Who was the night stalker, and why had he targeted Ashwood? Some claimed that he was a rogue bandit, while others speculated that he was a vengeful spirit seeking revenge. But it was not until the next night that the truth was finally revealed. As Thomas stood on guard duty once again, he saw a figure approaching him from the shadows. It was the night stalker, but he was not alone. Behind him was a tall, cloaked figure, his face hidden in the shadows. "Thomas," the figure said, his voice low and menacing. "It is time for you to meet your end." Thomas's heart raced as he raised his weapon, his finger on the trigger. But before he could fire, a blinding light engulfed the night stalker, and he vanished into thin air. The cloaked figure stepped forward, revealing himself to be a powerful wizard. "I have been watching you, Thomas," he said. "And I have come to the conclusion that you are not what you seem." Thomas's eyes widened in shock. "What do you mean?" "You are not a watchman," the wizard said. "You are a spy, sent here to steal our secrets and bring ruin to our town." Thomas sputtered in outrage. "I am not a spy. I am a watchman, sworn to protect this town." The wizard laughed. "You are a fool, Thomas. You have been fooled by the lies and deceit of our enemies. But it is too late now. Your true nature has been revealed, and your fate is sealed. With those words, the wizard vanished into the night, leaving Thomas alone and bewildered. He knew that his life had been changed forever, and that he would never be able to go back to the simple life he had known before. If you like this video, so please subscribe my channel. Thank you.